The Coca-Cola Company, maker of one of the world's best-known brands, was led for 17 years by one man, CEO Roberto Goizueta. During his tenure at Coke, the market value of the company increased dramatically from $4 billion in 1981 to nearly $150 billion in 1997. How did he do it? Well, unlike the soft drink itself, there is no secret formula for Goizueta's success, but he did put his focus on strengthening Coca-Cola's global presence. In fact, today, Coca-Cola earns 80% of its profits overseas. Nightly Business Report's Linda O'Brien interviewed Goizueta in 1991 at the height of his career with Coca-Cola.
Roberto Goizueta joined the Coca-Cola Company by answering a newspaper want ad in 1954. He began in the technical department of a Coca-Cola subsidiary in his birthplace, Havana, Cuba, 1 year after graduating from Yale University. 10 years ago, he became chairman and CEO. Under his tenure, the company has focused on the international market. In continued aggressive pursuits in Europe, Coca-Cola recently opened a $45 million plant in eastern Germany. Goizueta runs a $10 billion company, but he doesn't consider himself a manager. You have been managing this company for now 10 years. How has the company changed in that time?
Well, first, if I may correct your question a little bit, I would like to say that I've been leading the company. There are very few things I manage. By and large, the only thing I manage is the allocation of financial resources. But in 1980, we were a company which was an American company, headquartered in Atlanta, that had a sizable international business. Today, we're an international company that happens to be headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia.
Is that your future strategy, to continue to grow the business internationally, which now accounts for about 3/4 of your sales?
Well, last year we sold 9.4 billion cases of soft drinks, about 1/3 of that in this country, two-thirds internationally. In this country, we hold a market share of 41% versus our main domestic competitor, 33%. That 8 share point difference is equivalent to almost 600 million cases a year. So that gives you the size of the U.S. market. Internationally, we have 46% market share, but 5 billion people live outside of this country. They used to ask Willie Sutton why he robbed banks, and his answer was, that's where the money is. So consequently, it's obvious that the growth potential is much more outside of this country, because there are 5 billion people. Also, the per capita consumption of our products, much less internationally.
Let me talk about Pepsi for a moment in terms of the United States, where Coke does extremely well in fountain sales, in fast food sales. However, on the grocery shelves, the differential between Coke and Pepsi is only about 2 points. Is that a great concern to you?
No, not very much, because that's the least profitable part of the business, if I may say so. Advantage over Pepsi in this country is 600 million cases. That's huge, huge. If you multiply that times $8 or $10 a case, you get the difference in the size of our business. If you were to ask me what's the greatest pride I have over the last 10 years, is the fact that in 1980, the Coca-Cola Company was a company valued by the market at $4.2 billion. Today is valued by the market at $35 billion. So in the process, we have created in excess of $30 billion.
And as the leader then of the company, you say not the manager, but as the leader, then how do you do that?
Well, you do that doing 3 or 4 things. First of all, you have to take ultimate responsibility for the financial performance of the company. Secondly, I think you have to take ultimate responsibility for the character of the company. Third, you have to take ultimate responsibility for leadership. That, in a nutshell, is the job of the chief executive. And it's not more than that. It's rather simple if you have a good team to be the captain of. And we are very fortunate. We have a terrific team at the Coca-Cola Company.
After 17 years at Coca-Cola's helm, Roberto Goizueta died in 1997. He was replaced by his former chief operating officer, Douglas Ivester. Already, Ivester has been put to the test by being forced to adapt Coke's global strategy to the currency crisis in Southeast Asia. But if he is any match for Goizueta, Ivester may be able to use the crisis to his advantage and grow Coca-Cola's business in the process.